Greetings, my name is Pastor Pierce and I am under investigation by the Cumberland County Children and Youth Services, and at this point my children stand to be adopted and taken away from me because I have been approved to homeschool my children, and the Cumberland County Children and Youth Services feels that it is better to take my children from me and place them under adoption as seen in these adoption records here. In 12/17, an emergency hearing was scheduled. I was given 30 minutes to show up at court, hire an attorney, and defend myself. At the hearing, I dismissed all attorneys and made the decision to represent myself. On 11/25, the day before Thanksgiving, Jenna Nieves, a caseworker, conducted an unsuccessful home visit. She responds on 12/3, and Jenna Nieves speaks with Margaret Lee on the phone to conduct a home visit. I alerted the caseworker that she would need a warrant to enter the premises of my property or to even see my children. On 12/8, Children Youth Services receives information that my children had missed 8 days of school, even though I provided the school with doctor's excuses for 5 of the absences. On 12/8, Jenna Nieves receives a telephone call from Lieutenant Green by the bidding of Mr. Pierce that we would be willing to meet at the police station but not at the house. On 12/10, the caseworker lies, stating that she met with Lieutenant Green and Mr. Pierce at the police station. However, Lieutenant Green did not appear to work until 1 p.m. The meeting was with Chief Todd Bashore, and it occurred at 10 a.m. Mr. Pierce stated that the caseworker would not be speaking with his wife or children unless a warrant from a judge was provided to investigate those children or to come onto the premises. On 12/10, Caseworker Nieves states that I videotaped her without her consent, and her supervisor, Corrine Bennett, is now accusing me of wiretapping the caseworker at the local police station beside the chief of police. Miss Nieves stated that I denied access to Miss Lee, which is not true. She actually is on video speaking to Miss Lee. You'll see that. Jenna Nieves states that I presented Lieutenant Green with an affidavit that the children were removed from the school district. However, Lieutenant Green was not at work until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This meeting occurred at 10 a.m. with Chief Todd Bashore. Next, the agency remains concerned for the welfare of the children due to the family's lack of cooperation and lack of access to the home visit and to speak with the children. The agency also remains concerned for Mr. Pierce's mental health and the seclusion of the children. Why, do you ask? It is simple. If you stand your ground and demand that the organization need a warrant to enter your home as the Constitution declares, they then say that you have mental issues and your children need to be taken away. So because you stand your ground and demand a warrant, the agency remains concerned for the welfare of the children, and even if the police cannot come onto your property without a warrant, what gives this organization the right to demand that your children be adopted because you will not let them onto your property without a warrant? Under the Crimes Code 184904, it is a crime by a second-degree misdemeanor because the petitioner, and that's going to be this person here, Jenna Nieves, caseworker, she verifies and acknowledges the facts set forth in this petition are true and correct to the petitioner's personal knowledge, information, or belief, and that any false statements are subject to the penalties of the Crimes Code 184904 relating to unsworn falsification of authorities. I want to go over the most egregious case, which involves felony wiretapping. Jenna Nieves gave me permission to record her in the presence of the chief of police, as I will prove. After you watch this clip, you will see that she is a liar and that she moved a judge for the adoption of my children. So, do we need liars overseeing the removal of children? Does Children and Youth Services employ liars in this Kids for Cash operation?
I did allow you to videotape me. I did allow you to videotape me. And your request.
It's not a matter of allowing, as asserting one's right.
I do ask that you don't post it on social media or anything like that.
State your name, please.
Can I not agree to be recorded?
That's up
You're
to
in a
you.
public place.
That's up to you.
You can either dismiss any claim you have against me, or you can go through this process as I will, which I don't have to by law. I want you to understand that. I'm here as a special appearance to make sure that you do not tarnish the living man's name.
My name is Jenna Nieves, and I'm from Cumberland County Children and Youth.
All right, do you have an identification number?
I don't have an identification number, but I have a badge.
All right, show the camera your badge if you would. Thank you, I take that as record.
I'm not here to take your children away.
If she's
I
not
just have a
trying to
report,
take
and I
my
just wanted to
children
meet with
away,
you and discuss
why
it.
is there
Very
a
well,
shelter
go ahead.
application simply due to homeschooling?
Okay. The other thing I wanted to touch base is, from my understanding, the children are going to be homeschooled, correct?
That's not your concern.
I'm concerned with the part of educational neglect. I need to verify
There
that
is
those
no
kids are going to be.
education neglect, just so you know. I am hired by a local company because of my capability of understanding mathematics. Far beyond you or anybody here. No disrespect to you, Chief.
Are you providing the school with an affidavit of that company you're working
Well,
for?
that's
It's part
not
of the
their concern. Who I work for and where I get my money as a Christian pastor is none of their concern, nor yours.
It's part of the educational department. When you're homeschooling students, you need to give an affidavit stating of what charter you're going to be going under. If it's religion or anything like that, you just send in an affidavit stating that.
So according to you, if I homeschool my kids, that allows for a government agency to violate the Constitution in my life? Because
no-
I homeschool my children?
In no which way does it violate your constitutional right.
Then
They're
what
not
are
going
you
to tell
doing
you.
here?
They're not going to tell you exactly what you need to teach them. They're just going to identify that you're working with a company like you say you are.
I don't have to work with a company by mandate of the Pennsylvania law.
For homeschooling, there needs to be an
Cite the law.
affidavit stating to the educational department.
Obviously, my children would not be out of school if that burden had not been met. This chief of police would have been called because my child would have been beyond the 10th day. That affidavit is none of your concern. None of your concern whatsoever. It has to do with my right under the First Amendment to parent and teach my children. I took these children out of the school because there are criminals working there.
I need to
I've met
verify
the
that they're going to get
burden.
an education.
I have met the burden of the state. Ladies, don't tell me about meeting the burdens of education.
I'm going to need to verify that those kids are getting homeschooled. So through
Well,
that
I am
company
telling
that you're
you, I
stating
am
that you work
telling you,
for,
I am telling you that this is the second time that your organization has come and wanted to know members of my church and who I work for. Provide the warrant. I'm tired of this. You guys are breaking the law, violating my right to the First Amendment. Why don't you understand that?
you have a right to your First Amendment, but those children also have a right to an education. And that's what we want to verify, that they are receiving that right and getting an education
If
from
they
you.
were not receiving education, the chief of police would have been notified by the superintendent.
From my understand, right now the school has sent a letter home stating that there will be a meeting in front of the magistrate regarding the kids' absences through the school system and not having that
The
affidavit.
affidavit has been turned in. Where are you getting, when have you updated your supposed knowledge on this?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. The affidavit's turned in
When was the affidavit turned in?
when they got pulled out of school this week.
What day was that?
Maybe Monday.
From my understanding, the school hasn't received that affidavit.
You're wrong. I
Did you
sat
take
right
it in
front of
personally?
Greg, yes. We turned my son's computer in, released the documentation to the school, and met their burden.
Okay, so what's your plan for the kids?
That's none of your concern.
And as a part of my job, I need to at least see those kids, even if they're behind the screen door and I just see them through the
You
screen
won't
door.
go on my property.
I just need to see that they're well.
They are well. We can FaceTime them. I'm not letting you guys on my property whatsoever. You will not come on my property. And as I told the chief or the lieutenant, they may come on my property. Why? Because I have pushed the legalities of free speech, and this man has not violated the First Amendment anyway in my life. He's an honorable and upright person. Your organization, not so.
Would you be willing if the police would escort me just to see them through the screen door?
No.
So even with assistance, you will not let me?
No. I don't want you on my property. You don't have any right to go on my property. I will bring these children up here and let them meet the chief directly. I'm a mandated reporter too, just so you know, for CPS. And I've gone through training as a Christian pastor.
All I need is a release, so I can fill out the release right now and you can sign it and then I can do the work of sending it over.
Dude, if you think I'm going to release anything to you, you're out of your mind. Your organization kidnapped my kids illegally, violating the Fourth Amendment, violating my First Amendment.
In no way are we violating any of your amendments.
Oh,
I just
really?
have a report
So
and I
you're
just
not,
need to talk
really,
to you.
you want to argue this with me? Under what right do you have to parent my children and their education? Under what right?
I'm not trying to parent your children. I'm not
So
trying
then
to
why
parent
is
their
their
education.
education
I just
concerned
need to
you?
verify that you are giving them the education like you're stating.
You are right, that they are getting the education. Prior to my kids getting kidnapped by your organization, they were straight A students. Just to let you know, you're going to watch a video where my children are kidnapped in a $50,000 BMW.
Where are they taking the children? They're taking the children.
I do ask that you don't post it on social media or anything like that.
Okay, here's the school stuff.
Obviously, asking is giving us permission to record her.
Who's
Hi, my name's Jenna.
Jenna?
It's nice to meet you.
give them, but definitely let them see it.
This is the,
Now, the report, Kelly, states that I wouldn't let her talk to you or interview you, but she's going to clear you here in just a moment.
Third page is the
curriculum.
She claims we never give her the curriculum, and there it is.
Thank you for allowing me to see this.
I'm gonna go back with kiddos over there. All right, yeah, he could give it to him there. That's fine. Any questions for me real quick before I head over with my kids?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Ernest pretty much answered everything that I needed.
Wow.
We good?
Yes.
You releasing that?
I'm sorry?
Are you releasing the record?
I can't give you this record, but I can mail you out
Now
the
that
other
I
one.
understand, are you clearing the record? Going to clear the case in here?
I speak with my supervisor. It's going to most likely be closed. If I need any other information, I can contact you directly via phone.
Yeah.
Okay?